Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you, you're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky, you realize you're not alone. Open your eyes, you can find the trails that control.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central. Coming to you live from Central California in the biggest, smallest city in the world, Fresno, California. Yep. Go ahead and make fun of us, I know. The butt of the jokes and all the movies and all the TV sitcoms. It's always Fresno this, Fresno that. But there's probably a reason for that. So. Hi everybody, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for Paranormal Central. With the guy to my right and the guy to your left is our co-host, Alan Thomas.
Hi everyone, and on chat, I'm Paranormal Central.
Right on. And manning the board in front of us that you can't see and you will probably never see, Emerald Bonilla.
Hi.
Thanks everybody for showing up tonight. Really appreciate it. We've got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about tonight. You know, we're a show here that we talk about everything paranormal. Nothing is scripted. You know, sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we don't, and the reason why we often don't is, if that makes sense, is because we're investigators. We're always out in the field, so we have enough to talk about as it is instead of getting a lot of people that we have to go and find to fill up the 2 hours, because we have plenty to talk about. But a lot of times we do want to interview authors that have the coolest books out, and we'll bring them on, and that's going to be happening here in a couple of weeks. We have some good authors, and I can't wait for that. So. All right, just like every week, every Sunday, we have a reporter. We used to have two, but now we have one. The other one died on us. No, just kidding.
That was mean.
No, just kidding. We have a Squatch report, and his name is Danny Valderrama. He is a Bigfoot geek, and he keeps us updated on what's going on with Bigfoot. And we're going to bring him on right now. Mr. Danny, are you out there?
I am here.
And alive and awake.
Awake. That's the important part.
Yeah. For all those who don't know, last night, obviously a lot of people don't know because we had to keep top secret. Sorry, I'm still sleeping myself. As we went squatching last night, and it was just a night excursion. We left about 6, got there about 8, and waited there until about 11, 12 o'clock, and came back home. Nothing really happened. It was a quiet evening until we left the spot and was driving out. And Alan, what'd you hear? Because I didn't hear it. Him and Robert actually jumped out of their seats. They were on the passenger sides, and Danny, I was driving, and Danny was behind me. And Danny, did you hear anything?
I didn't hear nothing.
No, I didn't hear anything. I think they were smoking the crack, to be honest, but here or there. But no, they actually heard something because they both actually turned right at us, and Robert jumped up 2 feet. He goes, "Did you hear that?" And I hit the brakes, and literally, Alan, you said it was like literally right by the truck.
It was right next to me. I mean, I
You were
was
scared,
looking for it. And Jeff's like, "Should I back up?" And I wasn't saying anything.
No, I would turn to Alan and I go, "Alan, do you want me to back up?" And Alan was scared because it scared him. And my 30-06 was underneath the seat where I told them before we should take it out just in case. But I think at that point in time, if we would have had the FLIR, And if I would be, back up, turned off all the lights, and I think if this thing was literally right on the floor bottom where all the bushes are at, and all that heavy brush where it was probably at.
It was right there.
It was right there. We would have probably seen it in the floor. Next time when that happens, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one of you guys drive. And you know what we got a freaking
Sit on the roof.
You know what I was thinking, dude? Is come up with in the back of the pickup, go buy some wrought iron fencing and build like a cage for me. And I can sit back there. No, I'm serious. I know you guys are laughing at me. And
we'll feed you occasionally.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's just so that if it tries to get me, it's gonna take a little bit of time, and that way you can hit the gas and get the hell out of there, and I can take pop shots at it.
Well, what I heard sounded pretty evil and scary.
Yeah.
And that's why when you said back up, I didn't say nothing. I was more like, go.
I did. I was planning Alan. Well, see, the window was all the way down too, so whatever was there, it could
all the
easily.
windows were down.
Yeah, it could stuck their hand in there, and I was just scared. Oh, but we have now, and Danny, we were thinking that I think we should do this quite a bit now. Do just the night excursion instead of going camping, and literally
Bring
take
bug spray.
Yeah,
Bugs
really.
eating you alive.
Mosquitoes. We could, I could just trick out the truck with literally fog lights and I think
Nice rims.
and rims, DVR, with all the electronics and surveillance. And I think by driving around, I think we're gonna get something. And I will put
Like
me
an
in
ice cream truck.
yeah, put me in the back in that cage with my 30-06, and let's go to town. So. All right, so that's some planning that we're going to have to do, and I think it's going to be really easy, though, because me and jigging stuff, I can do it. So, all right, the Squatch Report for June the 29th, 2014. Danny sent me over some pictures, and we also sent them over to the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. For those who are listening us on there, you can go to the website at artbell.com right now and look at the Paranormal Central pictures for today. And we are going to go to number 1, which I put it as Shaver number 1. What do we got?
This is sent over from our friend Adrian Ramirez. He goes squatching with us on Memorial Day. And this is from a new mural that's up in Shaver Lake, California. This is off of 168. He said it's on the left-hand side near the Village Lodge. And the artist's name is Moral Carrera. And in the second picture is a picture of him and his girlfriend,
Okay,
Anna. And it was painted this week, like Wednesday and Thursday. And I don't know if it's done yet, but you can see it from the side of the road.
All
there.
right. Now, did you get to talk with Adrian at all on this?
Just asking him where it was.
Okay.
Where
And
it's located in Shaver Lake.
so I'm assuming Adrian's friend who actually drew this, does he go squatching with Adrian?
I don't know that.
Okay. Like, why would he? For one thing, he had to get permission.
Yep.
All right, obviously.
Maybe commissioned to do it.
And for him to put a Sasquatch mural in Shaver Lake, is it? Has he had an experience? Do we know any more on him?
We don't, but we know there's many sightings in the Shaver Lake area.
You betcha.
Where is
including a
that
white
at?
Bigfoot that's seen in that area too.
Where at it, Shaver Lake? Is it?
You're usually around the lake. There was I put up a page a while ago of all the sightings listing in the Shaver Lake area, and one was by the 2 workers of Camp Edison there. We saw one run across the road while they were eating lunch and jump into the lake there and swim across it.
No, I mean, where's the
Jeffrey
mural?
got a report of somebody that had their camper
Yep.
during the night.
No,
Somebody was shaking their camper.
Where's the mural at in Shaver?
The mural's near the Village Lodge on 168.
Oh, okay.
And we also know that Finding Bigfoot had their town hall meeting at the community center that we went to in
Right.
Shaver Lake.
So how far is the community center from this mural?
That I don't know, but at the time we had the largest turnout of a town hall meeting. It was standing room only, and that place was filled to capacity.
Yeah, we set a record.
Yeah.
The first time they ever had that many people in a town hall.
Very
Yep.
cool.
So
Now,
there is an interest in
absolutely.
Bigfoot in the area up there, Shaver Lake.
We've had many sightings, reports from Shaver Lake. So, yes, I can definitely agree with you on there. So, all right, let's go to picture number 3, what is a, look like a diagram of height of a Sasquatch. Go for it.
Yeah, this is something made by Ivan Leclerc, and he did a Bigfoot size chart. This was from the Ohio Bigfoot Conference page, and he was looking at the tracks and decided to see, okay, if the track is 21 inches, how tall would that be? And so a 21-inch track would mean that the person that made it would be 10 feet 1 inch tall.
Okay.
So that would be a very large person. That's Ivan pictured in there too. He's 6 feet 2 inches. So that's to give you a scale of how big everything else is around him.
Here you go.
The second tallest one on there is 8 feet 8 inches, and that's an 18-inch track. And the third tallest one on there is 6 feet 9 inches, which is still taller than him, with a 14-inch track. And the smallest one on there is 4 feet 9 inches with a 10-foot track.
Wow.
So that would give you an estimate of how big a creature you're looking at if you find the tracks out in the forest.
Yeah, that's about right.
So if you
Yeah.
So if you find an 18-inch track out there, it's probably going to be an 8-footer that you're looking for.
Wow.
Or that's looking for you.
That sounds about right. The other measurement that a lot of people don't hear about is the between the tracks. Like
the stride.
What you brought up the other day. There was a video, and the tracks were of the kids in the snow. Where was it? Russia. And the tracks were one in front of the other.
Right.
And that's exactly how they are. And how would a kid know that?
For those who don't know much about Sasquatch, the way they walk is they walk 1 foot in front of the other. Okay.
Like they're walking a tightrope.
Like a tightrope, correct. And so when you see footprints, and if they're like this, parallel with each other,
Like
that's human. Like how we walk. We don't walk like that. Sasquatches walk 1 foot in front of the other. And sometime, depending, like Danny just said, the footprint length is 18 inches, so that could be almost 10 feet stride, maybe. No, that's too big. 6
running,
feet.
it would be
Running.
It would be like 6 feet.
6 feet, huh?
Yeah.
And there was a video a documentary that came out yesterday, and I actually saw it. Dr. Sykes went around the world looking for DNA, and they went to Russia, and these kids videotaped this creature, and at first they spotted these tracks, which were big ass tracks, and we're talking like 18-19 inch, and it was one right in front of the other on the snow. There was no other footprints around it, like the kids actually made it. It was just one in front of the other. That, my friends, was 100% real. 100% real. Because the kids, 12, 13, 14 years old, would not know how to do that, and had no clue on how a Sasquatch walks, and that's how a Sasquatch walks. So, right on. All right, let's go to Bigfoot hiding behind a tree. Picture number 1.
Yep. This was from Dale Richardson. He was a kid at the time. This happened in 1975, and after he told his story, he was teased so bad in school that he never talked about it again. But this happened in York, Alabama, in '75 while he was deer hunting. He was deer hunting with some friends, and they dropped him off in the middle of the forest and told him there was a tree stand down at the end of this trail, and they pointed to it with a flashlight and said, just go down the end of the trail, and when you get to the end of the trail, there'll be a small incline. Slide down that, look for the ladder, climb up the tree, and sit there until we come back and honk for you. So this is a kid, so he's okay. He walks down. He doesn't have anything to be scared of, so he's walking down the trail in the dark with his flashlight, and to the right, he sees just trees, and it's really thin, and just cones and tree stumps on the one side, and then on the left side it's all brush, so he can't really see through it. So as he's walking down that trail, he starts to hear footsteps behind him, and the footsteps start getting closer, and he thinks it's a deer behind him, but it's off in the brush on the left, so he can't really see what's walking with him. He begins to walk faster, and the sound keeps up with him, and it starts getting louder and closer. and he could hear the foot scraping on the ground there. So his heart starts to beat a little faster, and he gets down to the end of the trail, and the thing is like right on top of him. He could hear it, but he can't see it. So he falls to the ground because he doesn't know what to do. And he's looking up, and all he sees is the sky, and he's waiting to see whatever is behind him, and he doesn't see anything, and he's too scared to move. So he sits there until he can see daylight, and again he still can't see anything around him. So he gets to the tree, and he sits there, and he waits for them to come and honk. And then finally, because they're deer hunting, he's sitting in the tree stand and waiting, and nothing happens. So he waits for the honk, and then goes back, runs back to the Jeep, and takes off. And then this has happened in 3 days. That was the first day. And the next morning, they're going hunting again, same thing. So he asks to go back to that same tree stand to try to see if he can see. He still thinks it's a deer. So he wants to see this deer that was following him. So the next morning, they do the same thing. He drops him off, and he starts walking down the trail again to the same tree stand. And he starts, before daylight again, he starts hearing the footsteps again coming up the trail behind him. And they're getting louder again. And this time he thinks it's a person, not a deer, coming up. And he thinks that the person's going to the same tree stand that he's going to. And at the end of the trail, he stops, and he hears something behind him. So before he turns around, he decides to whistle to let the thing know that he's there. And as he puckered his lips, and he begins to turn around, he hears something that starts off like a whistle behind him that gets louder and then turns into a lion/bear roar, and it screams behind him. And it takes all the air out of his lungs, and he could hear the trees vibrating around him, he says, and it echoes down the hollow that he was in. And he couldn't look, so he took off towards the tree stand, climbed up there and sat there. And the tree stand's about 15 feet high off the ground. He thinks whatever's behind him could easily reach up there and grab him out of there. And as it got daylight, he never hears anything leave. So it's still in the area, he thinks. So he's still afraid to leave, and he's sitting in the chair, and he says the tree is pretty thick. So as he's sitting there with the tree to his back, he doesn't think whatever's behind him can see him, because the tree's so thick you can't see him sitting in the tree from behind. So he's sitting there, doesn't know what to do, too afraid to look around the tree, too afraid to get down. And he hears the truck come, and hears the guys honk for him. And still, he's not going to move. He said, I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to make them come and get me. Mm-hmm. So eventually, they finally get out of the truck and come down and pick him up. And he asked them if they heard the scream, and he said, yeah, we heard it, but we think it's just like a lion or a bear or something like that.
Wait. A lion?
Yeah.
Oh, a mountain lion.
Or a mountain lion,
okay.
A big cat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so, and they didn't know what it was, and then on the third day, they're still deer hunting, but this time he doesn't go to the tree stand. He's running some dogs that they had. This was his turn to run the dogs, and while the dogs were running up ahead of him, and he was running with the dogs, and he tried to cut the dogs off. And what he saw just ahead of him, was something black behind a tree, and he thought at first that it was a crow with his wings out. And he looked back up, and whatever it was now standing up. It was about 35 yards away, and it was standing up, and it was staring right at him. And he threw up his 12-gauge shotgun, hammered back, and then he lowered it because he remembered his grandfather telling him, never shoot at anything that you can't identify. So this giant creature is standing here looking at him, and then he heard the horn honk, and this thing's still just staring at him. And so when he heard the horn honk, he knew the guys were back there, so he just took off running towards the truck. He said that the thing jumped when it heard the horn honk, and he could see all the muscles ripple in the body when it did that. So he just turned and hightailed it back to the truck, and hoping this thing wasn't going to chase him. But I guess his friends in school didn't believe him, and they teased him, and really caused him a lot of trauma, so he never spoke of it again until now.
Why did he come out now?
Because now he went to a Bigfoot Believers page, and there's a couple of other pages where he knew that people would believe him and probably experience the same thing that he's experienced, where they weren't going to make fun of him.
Right.
And so far, nobody has, and they're all asking questions.
Very cool. Yeah,
cool.
Very cool. People still don't believe, and we're going to talk about some things tonight on the Bigfoot, but we'll come around to
It's
that.
crazy, too. Everybody that sees them is deer hunting, so maybe we need to take up deer hunting.
We need to go where the deer are, basically. That's
Yep.
That's what it is. Okay, this photograph is fairly new. So what are we what's this about? Fill us in.
The new one,
Yeah.
it has, how many pictures? 3 pictures?
3. Yep.
Yeah, it's posted yesterday. It's already got upwards of 4,300 views, and Alan Thomas sent the link to me. And this was off the shores of Virginia in the intercoastal waterways, and they're claiming it to be a clear photo of Bigfoot. But then as you read on, they're saying that they're not claiming that it is Bigfoot, but it's from a phone camera, and it's taken from a boat by the father, I guess, from a camera phone. And they think it's possibly that they had an encounter 25 years earlier in the same area when he was 15 years old. He saw some glowing red eyes from a campfire. Him and his father were sitting at a campfire, and they could see glowing red eyes, and his father handed him the gun and said, well, shoot at it. And he said he couldn't see it. He said, well, the father tells him, just shoot in the direction you saw it. And he shot it, and he heard a scream, and then they heard it running through the brushes there, and they could hear it jump into the lake that was there, and it said it sounded like a Volkswagen being thrown into the lake. And then the next day they went and looked where the area was, and they saw a big clearing that was just plowed down going towards the lake. So they think that because they had that experience that this is the same area, that this could be possibly the same creature that they saw. But it pretty much looks like a tree that may have been struck by lightning. It's all burnt.
Yeah, that's I looked at it. I took a snapshot and I zoomed in, and for all those who are aware of Bigfoot size, you should be able to see the legs on this thing, and I don't.
There's a couple of pictures in it from different angles, but the relative shape never changes.
Right.
There's the hands kind of look different because it becomes one instead of two in a different angle, but it's still pretty much the same shape. Makes you believe it's kind of a stump or a hollowed out tree or something.
Yeah, if you're taking a photograph and this thing is a creature, and let's say it does walk away, and you don't take a picture of it walking away, that's fine. Take a photograph of where it was before, a before and after shot. That right there will totally debunk a tree stump. Okay?
Try to go back, look for footprints.
No, not only that. If this thing was actually a creature and it walked away, take a photograph of the spot with it not being there. That right there will tell you eliminate the tree. As simple as that. Okay, then okay, well, whatever it was big and black. Was it a bear? And then you start going from there, start debunking it. But right there, if you don't get a before and an after shot, that right there is telling me it's a tree. It's a tree. And I don't know.
Attempt to hide or run or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and it only had 47 posts on it last night when I found it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
now it's up to 4,300.
Yeah, more 100 views.
Wow.
So okay, so there you go. Now I am going to. We have a video. You sent me a video, right?
Yeah.
And basically, what it is it's a gorilla that attacked. Go ahead, describe to everybody what this is.
Well, this is a video of a looks like a forest kind of ranger,
one of the most
type person in Africa, maybe.
Okay.
It's standing next to a gorilla, a group of gorillas, and they don't want him there, so they do a bluff charge on him. And for some reason, he picks up an infant, and they really don't like that.
You think?
The reason I posted it is that because we get reports of these things in the middle of the night. If you're walking down a road, they have reports of something like bluff charging them. They could hear something run down the mountain towards them and then stop, and they can't see what it is.
Okay.
And just imagine a gorilla 9 feet tall out in the forest and with you.
Only you. Yeah.
And these things
now,
are about the same wide. They're about as wide as a Bigfoot.
Right. Now, this video is not on the Art Bell website, but
It is.
It is?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
sweet.
I checked.
Okay,
It is
awesome.
there.
Okay, it's Gorilla
It's with the
Attack.
pictures.
Awesome, sweet. Thanks, Keith, for doing that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play it for everybody.
Extraordinary characters I've ever met was Adrian de Schrijver. Adrian took us into the forest, confronted us with the gorillas, and we got charged and charged and charged again. And I think, and I'm sure, if I would have even flinched once and would have dropped the camera or would have run or turned around, Adrian would have said, well, this is obviously
No, well,
not the
obviously
right
right
man to
now
make
the
this
Art
film.
Bell can't hear it, but if you're watching the Art, if you're on the Art Bell
Adrian
page,
de
you can
Schrijver
actually
had
go
this
click on it
orphan
right
baby
now
gorilla,
and watch the
and
video.
one day he decided to
While the people on
introduce it
live
into
stream
the
can
forest
watch it.
to let it know the
So if
sights,
there's
the
dead air,
sounds.
it's only because
And
we're playing the
suddenly
video
we
and it's going through
sensed
live
the
stream.
gorillas were right close.
And for those who are
minute
Adrian
and 40
stood
seconds.
there
yeah,
with
for
baby
those who are
gorilla
on the
his
Art
arm.
Bell website, go ahead and click on that video and watch it while we're watching it on our side as well. So that's why there's dead air.
Suddenly the gorilla called in a way it had never
Look at those
called
nostrils
before.
and those lips.
It
Sure
was
looks,
really-
sure
it was
looks
a
like what
strange
was
feeling.
left on
It
my
was all
window.
quiet, and suddenly we saw the leaves move, and there was Hannibal.
It looks like the
first,
female is
who
turning around to
looked
tell
at
the
us,
male.
and I
this guy's
sensed
got
there
a
was
baby.
something
Yep.
going to happen, which really
There's no way
we
you
shall
can put a
never
mic up
forget.
against the speaker?
Hannibal suddenly called.
no.
Casimir answered from the background, and Adrian was very, very nervous, and we all realized this is a situation which really can end up in something terrible.
Well, you can watch it on your phone, can't you?
Casimir came and he screamed and just charged Adrian, and Adrian literally
Dude, that
had
thing-
no
that'll
other
tear
chance
you
to
apart.
drop the baby gorilla, because if he would have kept it,
Tear
we
you
all
apart.
convinced that
Turns around and
Casimir
tell
would
him
have
one more
killed
time,
him,
hey,
although
this
he
guy's
knew
got her
him very
baby.
well from
So
many
here
years.
comes the silverback.
Right. It's gone. All right, cool. Wow. Yeah, that's what
Here
scared
he
the
comes.
scared. I'm pretty sure that guy dropped a load in his pants. He's just not telling anybody. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. So, all right. Now, that's it, right, Danny?
Yep.
Okay,
And
now.
you know, imagine if you actually saw a Bigfoot this big and he starts screaming at you,
Right.
and he charges at you. You don't have. Look how fast he comes at you. You don't have time to raise a gun. You'd be
Now,
dead before if you had a rifle,
right.
you're done.
Now this gorilla, it's small. I mean, you're talking 6 feet, maybe smaller. All right,
Small, but
Bigfoots.
100 times stronger than us.
Bigfoots are 8, 10 feet. Imagine something twice the size of that coming at you. All right, that's some freaking scary stuff. Now, all right,
And could that be happening right now in the forest? 'Cause there's an
Abso-freaking-
increasing amount of people that have been going missing.
we're going to be talking about that too. Now, you mentioned to me, we have been telling everybody about our theories on what's going up in the Sierras and why all these people are going missing. Something happened to Danny on his route at work. Tell everybody what happened.
Oh, yeah, there's a guy there that knows that what we do and all that stuff, and he gives me tips and lets me know stuff. And he said that there was a guy that came into work and came to see one of the other employees, and he just happened to be in the room, and this guy was telling the employee that he was all excited because he got hired by a private investigator to go look for Bigfoot, and he was getting paid to go look for Bigfoot. And he didn't know if this guy was part of a government group or what was going on. But he said, hey, did you know that the government is also covering up the fact that these things are out there killing people and they're eating them? I said, yeah, I've heard that. So you never say anything about that? Well, I don't tell you everything. But he said that the guy was telling him that the government's hiding all these facts about Bigfoot, and they know about him.
So the government is putting hits out on Bigfoot, and they're hiring people to go and hunt him.
Yeah, he didn't say what he was doing, but if he was hunting or trying to find it or trying to kill it or what, but he's going to try to get me some more information or get this guy's name, and I gave him your phone number.
Yeah, like if
Give you
he's
a call.
gonna
I haven't
call
heard
me.
anything from him
No.
yet.
Do you imagine that, you guys? All right, this is more confirmation right here.
Heck, I want to get paid.
Huh.
No kidding. Okay, now that's really odd that Danny heard this from a second party. Is it because the only people who are talking about killing a Bigfoot is us?
Yeah, there's just a few people.
It's just a few people. Okay. It's us, you guys. I'm telling you right now, it's only us that have been really putting the word out that we're going to go out and kill one and bring one back. And then all of a sudden, Danny gets this information. Is it because whoever was the person hiring this guy, or were they listening to our show, which is very, it's a very good possibility, or that they're done with these people going missing. But I cannot see the government hiring a private investigator. They should just go to the military and frickin' hire, a hit squad and FLIRs and helicopters. And
That's too, people would know.
well, no, but trust me, we have those type of.
They could say that they're looking for marijuana grows.
Yeah,
and all that.
no, we have black ops guys out there who know about Bigfoot, and this is probably all they do. And they're out there, on a basis, and they instruct these guys to go out there and kill whatever's been, and trust me, they know. But for a private investigator like this to come to somebody, that doesn't sound right to me, meaning that they're thinking what we're thinking. Go to bag one, bring it back, and become a multi-gazillionaire. That's what I'm.
It's cool that they're getting the information to us too from knowing what we do.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think word is now getting out, and we're going to talk about the Bigfoot and the Sierras and all that here pretty quick here. All right, Danny.
All right.
Thank you very much, and we will be talking to you during the week. All right.
See you later,
See you guys.
Danny.
Don't run
Get
anybody
some
over.
rest, buddy.
All right. See ya. Bye. Okay. Let's talk about that really quick. Not really quick, but over the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there's been 2 cases that has been hitting the internet, Facebook, social media, and the news agencies really hard. And that's 2 people that went missing, one in Mount Rainier, Washington, and one in Southern California, Arcadia, just I believe it's north of Arcadia, up in those mountains. One Southern California, it was a firefighter. Let's talk about that one really quick. No, let's talk about the one in Mount Rainier. That one was first. She was I believe I wrote it down here real quick. Hold on, you guys. She was a 70-year-old woman. Her name was Karen Sykes. And she was a person who has been hiking, going up to the mountains all her life. She knows Mount Rainier like the back of her hand. All right? People who know her know that she can get out of any type of trouble. If she was up in the mountains and got lost, she would find her way back. There's no way she could get lost. Absolutely no way. Everybody was saying that. Her friends, everybody. Well, she went missing. All right? And they finally found her body. It was, I believe it was, they stated that they found her body in a very unlikely location where she should have never have been, for one thing. It was higher elevation than she should have been, and it was off a cliff, I believe. And that is all they're saying. But what the authorities are discussing to themselves right now is that why was she at this location? She shouldn't have been here. It was very odd. They're not saying anything else on how she died, but a person like this, who's a professional, this should have never happened to her. Something happened that put her in this predicament where, again, we don't know how they found the body, and they're not going to tell us. All right. Now, let's talk about the firefighter in Southern California. This firefighter went missing about 3 weeks ago. He was with another firefighter that went camping. What happened is this particular firefighter was just about to, I guess, change. He had taken off his shoes. He had brought his dog. His dog takes off running into the forest. The firefighter gets up before he puts on his shoes, thinking that he would be able to go 20, 30, 40, 50 feet, get the dog, bring him back. The firefighter takes off, never comes back. His partner, who he was camping with, starts to go out, look for him, goes all over the place. He's gone. He vanishes. The dog is even gone. He can't even find him. So he goes back to the campsite, he waits around, nothing. Morning comes around, nothing. And they call in the search party. They've been going and looking, trying to find him for 2 weeks. Nothing. All right. They just found his body yesterday or the day before. Now, check this out. For all those who don't know, David Paulides. We've had David Paulides on this show how long ago? 2012? 2011.
It was a long time.
Was it 3 years? 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I want to
at least.
Okay, I want to say we were like, I don't want to say one of the first, but we were probably the top 10.
It was right when he released his first book.
Okay.
Right when he released.
Right when he released his first orange book, 411. We had David Paulides on the show. And it was a 3-hour show, guys. As a matter of fact, that video that we have of that particular interview is on, Alan put it on our website. And it is like up to almost 17,500 hits. I want to say that I am probably the only host of a show to actually make him say Bigfoot.
According, I mean, there's people that comment on there. You can go and read all the comments. According to a lot of the comments, you're the first one that had him for 3 hours. The first one that got him to say the word Bigfoot. and out of all the he's done, I don't know.
He's probably done a lot
of interviews since then. That one's the most in depth still yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I really had him for 3 hours.
3 hours,
and you grilled him.
I did.
I mean, you really were trying to pull out
everything.
Yeah.
Now, for those, I mean, back then, obviously, just like today, we don't have commercials. Now, like, Coast to Coast and all those other shows, they have commercials. So technically, if you're doing a 3-hour show, 2-hour show, it's only going to be like maybe an hour and change. I had him on for 3 hours straight, and I had him on for 3 hours, and we were talking all 3 hours. And I remember I was drilling him because I wanted to know what was going on. And I actually made him say Bigfoot. If you don't believe me, go and watch the episode. It is on paranormalcentral.net. You can go watch it. It's on YouTube and watch the whole episode. It's a damn good interview, I think. Now, check this out. David Paulides was on, as a matter of fact, he was on a show that is on the Dark Matter Network. He was on Friday night, but it was a pre-recorded show, I believe, a couple days before. And they were talking about this particular firefighter. And at that time, they had not found the body yet. Okay? David Paulides told this host how and where they were going to find this body. And he said, I bet you $1 million. Well, he didn't say I bet you $1 million. He goes, this is how they're going to find him. They're going to find him probably within a mile of the campsite. They're going to find him at a higher elevation, and they're going to find him over a cliff, and they're going to find him in bushes, and they're going to find him in a location where they have already checked before. And guess what happened, you guys? All that was true. All that came into fact. All that happened. They found his body exactly how David Paulides said it would be. Now, why did he know? Because in his books, that's how they find a lot of these missing people, the same way. The exact same way.
It's the ones that go missing exactly the same way those guys go missing.
Right.
Everything fits this pattern, right?
Right.
And he doesn't pick out every last single hiker that goes missing. They have to fit a certain
criteria.
Right? And they don't have shoes, and they're with other people, and then they ran off.
Animals. So a lot have to do with animals.
Yeah.
Their animals will take off running, and they will go try to find their animal, and they will not come back because the animal gets spooked. Well, before they found this firefighter, the animal did come back. The dog did come back, all tired and restless, and they said they tried to get the dog to go back in there to go look for it, and the dog would not go back in the forest. It was spooked. It did not want to go back in there.
So we actually joked about that, chat. They're saying Paulides did it.
Well, no.
We were joking about that last night, because it's almost like he has cognition, or knows, but really they fit this parameter.
Yes, it fit what's going on with all these missing people and how they are finding these missing people. Now, this has been happening a lot lately. Now for this firefighter, they didn't know it was him. They had to do dental records on him. They said he was badly messed up. I mean, they couldn't tell by his face that it was ripped apart. To me, it sounded like he was ripped apart.
Probably his whole body.
His body was probably ripped apart, you guys. All right, so they had to use dental records in order to really ID him.
It was a hungry Bigfoot.
Okay, so let's think about this. Now, this is happening in California in our mountains. All right, Mount Rainier, obviously, we're talking Washington, but we're not too far away from Southern California. We're still talking, not too far. Now, those who don't know, Alan and I, it was 2 weeks ago, we went to a forest plan revision type of meeting. It was more than a meeting. It was a public hearing.
It was like a public forum.
Public forum.
Yeah.
And it was because of what they're trying to do up in the Sierra Mountains just east of Fresno. They are planning to shut down a large section of the forest where the public will not be able to go into for 10 years.
Well,
it's a 10-year plan.
What they're doing is they're taking forests that we can drive in right now, camp in, and then they're going to make it a wilderness. So you have to have a permit, and you can only walk in.
Right.
And I mean, they're going to gate it. They're going to gate it. No more cars, no more off-road, no more. So it'll be like in areas that right now that you can drive around in and go camp, and then now it's going to be gated and you got to walk in it.
Okay.
And even though they were saying at the meeting they will never do that, right? But they're doing it because we have pictures of a gate right now.
Right. When Alan and I, we went to this meeting at the Holiday Inn near the Fresno airport. I got there first, and I was standing up in the back wall. And I noticed one of the Department Forestry girls was eyeing me out. And she would come up close to me. I was standing like against the wall. I was looking at this pamphlet, and I was on my cell phone on Facebook telling everybody, here, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And she was like trying to figure out what I was doing. And I was aware of her, her appearance and what she was trying to get close to me and trying to see what I was doing. And everywhere I would move to, she would follow. And then Alan shows up, and then we go and sit down. To me, it definitely felt like they knew we were there. All right. They would not eye us. I know that they definitely knew we were there. Okay, for one thing.
And
now,
they knew who we were.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It was
now,
interesting.
Now, they were taking questions from the audience. There was a lot of people there. And what they would do is they would hand out numbers on large pieces of paper, and then they would go, okay, number 1. And the person would stand up and give her opinion on what was going on and all that. And people were really ticked off because they would go to the website on what's happening, right, in the forest. And a lot of people were complaining that, you have pages and pages on this website, and it's hard to go through and find out exactly why you're doing this. And they're giving us no reason why they're doing it, and they're also giving us not a reason, or they're not even showing us what parts that they're going to close down. I mean, it's so unorganized, it's not even funny. And a lot of people were standing up and say, hey, it's like you're doing this on purpose.
Yeah. You built the website where we can't navigate it to find out.
Yes.
And they're all laughing. Oh, maybe we should fix that.
Yeah. And everybody was complaining about that. One person did stand up and actually say, it's kind of weird that the locations that you guys are blocking off happen to be the exact same location of the Agenda 21 thing that's going on. And at that point in time, the head guy smirked a little bit and said, well, okay, so it's a little close. He didn't really, give his 2 cents on why that was the case or not. But they said something, and I didn't catch it, but Alan said he caught it, and I think I was either looking through the pamphlet or stuff, but people were going, why are you guys going to close down this area? And obviously it was because of the lizard and the toad. And what did they say? That they possibly wanted to study unknown species.
Oh no, he said there was 2 reasons that there might be gates.
Okay.
Like new gates. Like the gate in our area, for instance. Like there was no gate. Right? Now there is a gate. And it's been pretty, like in the last couple of years. And there's more of them like that too, like new gates. He said that they were either a planned gate, that they were going to put one there and it was a planned gate, or it was because of they were going to study some new species or habitat or something like that, and they're putting a gate. Those would be the only 2 reasons he's putting a gate, and he said he could guarantee you he is not putting gates to keep people out of the forest. And then they said, what about fishing game? He says, I have no control over the fishing game or the environmental protection, anything, He can't speak for them, but they can tell him what to do. You know what I mean? Like if they say, we're gating this off, he's not putting the gate himself, right? The gate's not going there. But only he's putting the gate there because he's ordered to by a higher authority that he doesn't have any control over.
Okay.
But his control, he will not put a gate.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, right.
Now, when we went on the Memorial Day weekend trip 3 weeks ago, and we arrived at the spot and we started going down, and we noticed that, wow, they came in with bulldozers and literally scraped the dirt roads and made them beautiful. I mean, there was no more holes for our water to gather and to make mud holes. I mean, all that was fixed and repaired. And I remember Alan made the comment, and he said, it's like they did this for us.
And I'm looking like our road.
And I'm looking at him, I'm going, what do you mean? And he goes, they did this for us. And at that point in time, I didn't really, I just threw that in the back of my head, and I said, okay, whatever. So that night, for those who saw our show the week after, and we played the sounds of those whoopings, which sounded like monkeys, and then we found out that it might have been a barred owl. But the only problem is these barred owls are not
indigenous to here.
Okay. So I'm going, okay, I've been going there since 2007. I have never, ever heard an owl at that location, ever. Okay? And I have never even seen one. All of a sudden, we go that weekend. I saw an owl. Danny took the photograph of one. And then we heard those sounds, which possibly sounded like a barred owl, but actually they sound more like monkeys to me. Now, in this pamphlet that the Department of Forestry handed out to everybody, it says in there that they're trying to save that toad and that lizard, and they mentioned the barred owl. And I'm going, wait a minute. Isn't that just coincidence that the 2 weeks after our memorial trip, that we get these sounds, and all of a sudden the barred owl is in this pamphlet that they passed out?
And we talked about the barred owl like the very next day. I mean, right after our trip, we started talking about the barred owl and playing the recordings and everything. And then now you have to understand, these papers, they said they had barely put them together like the day before this meeting, and they weren't even complete yet, and they're not even done. Okay, and this is not the final draft either.
Right.
So okay. I mean, that was all put together in a quick hurry up thing for that meeting.
All right. Now, the government, all of this started about closing down, I mean, really closing down the forest really took off when we started to bring out the missing people, the Native Americans, the killings of these people going missing. That's when the government put it in high gear and started to say, uh-oh, I think we better shut down these forests ASAP. Now, what if... Now, I'm not putting anything past the government now. The government wants to trick us. They want to send us off on a totally different route to make us think that this is not Bigfoot, that we're doing this because of barred owls and lizards and toads and all this crap. Like I said, what if they came in and they spent a lot of money, brought in big ass bulldozers, and how do I know this? Because I got them on our game cameras. These big yellow bulldozers. I mean, they came in and cleaned it up beautifully. What if that they came in and wanted us to go in there? They wanted to make sure we went in there Memorial Day because obviously they hear the show, they know what we're doing, and they brought in these barred owls.
Well, they know we go every Memorial Day, too.
And they planted these barred owls. They went and probably brought in some nests, and they put some nests. I mean, literally, these owls, or what was sounded like owls, were right near the campsite of the spot. What if they came in and planted these owls there to make us think that this was one of the reasons why they're closing down the forest?
Well, we were there last night for a long time, and there was no owls.
It was silence.
There was birds, and there was bats, but only there was a couple of owls. I had the parabolic, so I could hear things in the distance, a dog barking, a guy shooting at 11 o'clock at night. Some guy out there shooting, but there was an owl, and it was the hoo owl. And it was way off, and it would only do it every couple times every 20 or 30 minutes.
Right.
No more barred owl.
Oh, it was
it was quiet.
It was so quiet last night, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah. It was actually depressing a little bit.
Yes, not until the growl scared the crap out of you on the way out.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
made my night.
There is something going off. These people are going missing because of a paranormal phenomenon. I tell you right now. But when I was listening to David Paulides talk about his recent book, now his whole view on possibly it being a Bigfoot that's snagging everybody is starting to change a little bit. One of the facts that's coming out of these missing people is that it's weird that a lot of people that go missing in valleys or areas that have the devil in its name.
Oh man, I saw that.
Okay, like Devil
Diablo
Valley,
Canyon.
Devil Canyon, Devil Trails. That happens to be in all of the locations that he is finding that missing people are going missing and happening like this have the devil in its name.
Well, couldn't that just be because of
well, that is probably because the forestry named it that way.
Because it's dangerous.
Dangerous. In what way, though? Because I think they know...
No, I could think like we went camping the 5th grade. We did that whole Heart Attack Hill, and that was only because you needed experience to get on some of these trails.
Okay.
It could not be. It could just be the level of expertise you need. So they're kind of warning trailers. Well, don't go on this one. This is Devil's Trail. It's hella hard.
It's not exactly like that. Now, I did some research on that because I thought that was I mean, it's not just one place. You know what I mean? If it was one or two places, it would be oh yeah, maybe it's. But only no. I mean, in a lot of the places, the names are that. I mean, Devil's. It goes all the way back to way back. Way back, way back to the miners and
Native Americans and all,
Yeah, I mean these places are known as the Devil's Terrain or place forever that nobody can remember why it's not.
Isn't Yosemite have a name like that, Devil something like, and that location a lot of people go missing. Okay, so
yeah, it's weird.
People way back in the 19th century knew of certain locations where it's bad to go there. Yeah. Don't go there. We're gonna call it devils. Because things happen to people. They go missing. They get eaten. It's just like, it's weird. And he even mentioned that on that interview that I listened to. That I don't know if I think the firefighter there he was in. It was called Devil something.
It was Diablo Canyon.
Diablo Canyon or something like that. Okay.
But that's what I was researching. The Diablo Canyon name is like from the 1700s.
Okay, way back.
That was what it always is known to be. So, they don't even know who named it.
Now, we're not saying that the devil is taking these people. That's not what we're saying. We're just saying that
the area
is a bad place, and people named it with the devil in its name because it is a very bad place for humans to go to. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it is. I really don't.
There was like Devil's Gorge, and there was Devil's Post Pile. It went on and on and on.
For sticking to the top of Bigfoot, couldn't Bigfoot have been considered a devil back then?
Well, sure, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they didn't know back then what it was, so they just gave the canyon a name and put the devil in it because somebody saw what was a monster, a creature that is not supposed to be real and was told by their grandparents and folklore and and that it was the devil. And so, sure, absolutely.
Well, it could have been running off with their babies.
Yes.
And that's what that's their the modus operandi of a long time ago.
For the Native Americans, right?
Yeah, and even like the with the people coming west,
Oh, okay, and the carriages and...
Yeah, they even had problems with them. Like, they'd be out there working in the garden and have the baby in the shade, and the next thing you know, gone.
Wow.
It would be like the devil's playground or something where they lived.
So, there is something going on. The government is hiding the truth, you guys. I can tell you that right now. You guys have to be very careful about your kids. All right? I'm telling you right now, if you go camping, and I don't care if you're with a bunch of people, I don't care if you're by yourselves, you're keeping your children within 10 feet of you at all times. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. If you have animals and you take your dog and you take your cat and it takes off running in the forest, you don't go running after it. Let it go. Because basically what it's going to do is it's going to try to trick you. Your father and the mother is going to go after it. The kids are going to be left behind. Guess what's going to happen? All right? Think like that. That's you have to think like that now. All right? Camping to me, it used to be fun, and now when we go up, it's not as fun anymore because I'm totally aware of my surroundings. I'm making sure Christian, Cheryl, and are like in. I can see them at all times. If somebody goes out of that trailer, I am going to go right behind them. If they're going to go to the bathroom, thank God we have a fifth wheel now. They don't have to go walking down to wherever the restrooms are located or go behind a bush or whatever. We have a bathroom inside the trailer now, so that's good.
We have a guy that goes with us, on camping and Bigfooting. His name is Robert, and he wants to see a Bigfoot real bad, and he'll wander off by himself. He'll take off, and you can see his light flashing around and everything. And that one night when it was the monkey owls or whatever they were, he wandered off probably about 75 yards.
No, he was closer than that. He was. We're talking 60 feet, 70 feet
from us.
From us. Oh yeah.
Okay. All I seen was his light,
and that's how close those whoopings came. Right. And what did Robert say last night?
I knew you were pressing him. Why did you come back, Robert? Why did you come back?
And he said, because the thing came at me.
Yeah, it did.
That's what it said. He said the thing started, I don't know if he used the word walking, but it said it started to get closer to him, and he got scared. Robert Scott is the guy who goes walking around by himself. He's been hiking all his life, and all he takes is a stupid knife, about this big, but
and a stick.
And he's not afraid of anything. But I think we're starting to change his mind now.
He's starting to be afraid. I watched him get afraid 3 times last
night. And it was funny as hell, especially one with Danny just walking in his camouflage, and he jumped. Danny was just cruising out there with his microphone, and he had his camouflage hoodie on because the mosquitoes were eating him alive, and Robert was just talking to us, and he looked around and he saw this thing walking by the brush. He went like that. He just, oh fuck, that was Daddy, and he scared him. I'm going, and I'm looking at Robert, man, you don't get scared very easily. I mean, and he goes, oh, dude, it was just, and then, he basically calmed down. The last night when we were driving out of the spot, and you had the spotlight out the window, right, and you focused it in the front, and you saw the eyes up on the hill. Robert was right next to me. He was sitting in the passenger side. And I'm gonna, and he's probably gonna hate my guts, but I'm gonna pretty much mimic on how he responded on seeing those eyes. Right? He goes like that, and he jumped, and his eyes got so fucking big. Sorry, and him and Alan saw the eyes up there, and I stopped the car. I put it in drive. I got out, and there were cows, but I've never seen Robert. Robert had to go like this.
He was tearing.
He was tearing. It scared him that bad. And then that was right before the growl.
Oh, you guys messed him
No, it
up.
was right. It was right after.
Oh, it was right after.
It was right after the growl.
Okay, and I was driving really slow, and all of a sudden, Alan and Robert at the same friggin' time go, "Did you hear that?" And Robert's looking at me, and he's like, I go, "I didn't hear it." And Alan goes, "It was just right behind us."
Yeah, when you stopped, it was only, I was waiting for it to grab me. I'm serious. Yeah. I had my arm out the window with this light, and
right.
I put my hand in.
Why didn't you roll up the window?
Because you have it on the child thing, and I couldn't roll them up or down.
You should have told me. You should have told me.
All I could think about was, like something was going to grab me. It was going to grab me because it was like this evil, deep, like a growl. Right. It started off like a growl and went into a roar.
Okay, now you guys have to understand, when we're driving on a dirt road, it's not like it's like empty field on both sides.
No.
We're driving on this dirt road, and the trees and the brush are hitting the window, scratching my truck, right? So it's like it's heavy brush. Even if you shine a spotlight right down in there, you couldn't see because it's so heavy brush. Yeah. That's why it's so spooky. Because you're driving, and all of a sudden, something could come out of the trees and go, roar, and grab you or jump on the hood, and that's what we were expecting, especially when they heard the growl.
I actually was expecting that because it sounded like it was like right next to me, like that right. Close, like 4 feet, and I know Robert was like trying to squirm over by Jeff. I was watching him. He couldn't even sit by the window.
That's why I told you that's why I wanted my 30-06. Well, now we know what to do next time. I'm seriously thinking about building a cage in the back of my truck.
See, now when right after that, and he started moving again, me and Danny both had a light on each side of the car, right. And we're like scanning the woods. But then it dawned on me, like, how many times have Robert or any of you guys actually been out, doing that.
We've never have done that.
So then I thought, they don't even know what they're to look for.
Right.
So I told them, look, while we're cruising like this, you're not really looking for animals. You're looking for lights. Because soon as the light hits eyes, any eyes, cat eyes, human eyes, any eyes, the iris reflects back, and it makes little lights in the woods. As soon as you see that, that's when you stop and you really scope it, And it wasn't right after I said that. I told him, look for the lights. All of a sudden, there's some lights right up on top of the hill,
That's when Robert went,
yeah.
Seriously.
But it started off with 2 lights, and then Jeffrey pulled forward, and they were kind of like on the other side of the hill. So we lost it. I'm like, back up. And he backed up, then there was 4 lights. So there was actually 2 of whatever it was, right? That's when I started freaking out. Because they were big and they were like wide.
Right.
But then, the cow ran over the hill and you could see the whole cow, it was like, oh.
But I think the growl was before that, wasn't it? No, it was after?
Right before that.
Right before that.
Right
so
before
that's
that.
why Robert was really scared when he saw the eyes up on the hill.
Yeah.
And Now, people are going, cows? Why are there cows up in these forests? Well,
free range.
It's free-range cows, all right? I mean, these cows are so freaking healthy. They're so, I mean, they're big because there's so much to eat out there. They do it every year. They come out and they let these cows go, and they free range, and there's cows everywhere.
Sometimes that gets really scary. I mean, you could be camping, and you hear something like huge coming through the woods, and you think that there's a freight train coming, you know, to get you.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's just a cow,
right,
comes running by, you know.
Now, let me tell you guys something. Last 2 weeks ago, we showed everybody the new toy that we got. And literally, it was that Spynet toy, all right? We tried it last night. Oh, my God, it worked so good. Okay? I took
was like 5 of us, 3 or 4 of us out there. We all had our own toy.
A $30 toy. But you guys have to understand is that I have a security camera that has the infrareds on it that I plugged it into the 12-volt cigarette lighter, and it was like a massive spotlight. We were able to see 200 feet, 250 feet.
I was thinking more farther than that.
Farther than that?
It was like almost 100 yards.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we were looking way up the hill.
On the hill.
Yeah.
And it was pure black out there, you guys. So you have to understand, I turn on the security camera, not utilizing the camera itself, but utilizing the infrared LEDs. It's just like an invisible spotlight. Yeah. And I turned it on, and I shined it on the hill. But if you're not looking in the toy camera, you can't see nothing up there. Yeah. But when you look in the camera, it's pure brightness up there. You can see everything. And it's like, holy smokes, it works. So it's a $30 toy. Plus, you know, you can get these infrared LED lights that come in a square box that you can buy for $70, you guys. So for $100, oh my God, you guys have it. You guys need to go get one. Toys R Us or Kmart. Right now they're on sale for $30. And the thing records video and records photographs and has a microphone for audio.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a microphone
Yes,
too?
yes.
Yeah, and like a 2 gigabyte mini, the little one, like in a cell phone. It'll hold 10,000 pictures. And I think he said 80,000 minutes of video.
Wow.
And man, we had so much fun. I mean, Jeff he actually had 2 security cameras, and he had a little one, and he was saying, this is the best one, you know. And then he brought this other one. He said, this one isn't as good. When he put that one on, bam, it lit up the whole mountainside, lit it up like daylight. Okay. When you're looking through that.
When you're looking through this. You guys, I realize it's a freaking toy, but it's Bigfoot's investigator's best friend. Right here, $30. Go get one.
You know what's cool is I did a video with it, and you take out, you record, and then you take the little bitty SD card out, and you put it in the adapter, making it a bigger SD card, put it in your computer, put the file on your desktop, and then bam, you got this full screen, everything that you recorded with your voice. The only thing it's a toy, so the only thing I could figure out that wasn't really good on it, like not excellent, was the microphone didn't pick up the S. Good. But other than that, it was absolutely excellent.
What exactly is the toy called?
Spynet.
Spynet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a picture right now. Hold on.
Spynet spy goggles.
Spyglass? Okay, Spynet, right?
Spyglass or something.
Spynet video glasses. Okay.
No. It's the Spynet Ultra Night Vision Goggle. That's what it is. Spynet Ultra Vision Night.
How come I can't?
Ultra
What
Night
I'm trying
Vision.
to do is I'm trying to put a picture on the wall for everybody to see, guys, because we're here because we want you guys to go out and get the best photograph.
There it is.
And the best
Spynet Ultra Vision Goggles.
Ultra Night Vision Goggles.
Hold on. Control bar. Boom.
They're so fun. We played with them for 2 hours.
Okay, here it is, right here, guys. This is what I'm putting it up right now on live stream. It's a toy. It's called SpyNet Ultravision goggles, and it's $30 right now at Toys R Us. It was $50, but it's like they're having like a 20% off. Go get one. You can only look 50 feet in the dark with the LEDs that are on it right now. But if you go get the external security camera LED what I'm talking about, you can see 300, almost a 400 yards, guys. This thing is so awesome. All right, because I realize that it's expensive to go and buy equipment. Well, this is not expensive. Go get one. I'm telling you right now. All right,
yeah, and everybody could Google it, and everybody should Google it. The SpyNet Ultravision goggles.
Right. It's these things here.
You know.
I mean, how cool is that? All right.
And I think we actually have pictures on the Art Bell from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's some on. We also have pictures of it in a little test video on ParanormalCentral.net.
Okay. Yeah, SpyNet Ultravision goggles.
Yes. Guys, go get them. For all those Bigfoot investigators, go get one. Or go to Amazon, own them right now. If there's no Toys R Us or Kmart close to you, then go to Amazon and buy them, man. Come on.
You could use these for ghost hunting and everything. It even has a ghost recon vision on it, right? I mean, a little switch that turns it from IR to ghost vision.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of cool.
Like I said, things are going to change for us when we go now Bigfooting. Matter of fact, Alan and I were talking about it. I think we're going to be doing the night excursion more often because, going camping, it takes a lot out of us. We can go 4 or 5 hours and we can get a lot.
Same results as a 2-day trip.
Yeah, because during the day we're just doing absolutely nothing and just waiting for the night to come around.
Yeah. Right.
So, before I forget, Johnny Rivera, Dallas's dad, I think he fell off a roof. What were you thinking? Were you UFO hunting or what? But I heard it a couple days ago. He fell off a roof and he had to go. It's like that family with Madeira, the family out of Madeira who watches it. UFO family. Thank you. Hey, really good friends of ours, and they watch our show all the time. While the dad had an accident and he fell off a roof, and they took him into surgery, and I think he broke his ankle in a million pieces. So they put him back together again. So right now, from what I understand, he's inside the hospital room with his laptop watching our show because he insisted on Dallas to go home and get the laptop before 5 o'clock because I want to watch Paranormal Central, and he did. So I want to appreciate that. And he's right now listening to us at Fresno Regional, wherever that's at. And for the nurses who are listening in the room right now, too, make sure you take care of them, all right? 'Cause I'll hear about it.
Hope you feel better.
So now I heard that Dallas is also at the levee, and a helicopter came over and was circling him, and they took off again. So,
yeah, he said it's like the helicopter came back, and left again, and circle him.
Yep. So
the other night, we were sitting on the porch, and it was Saturday. Let's see, Friday night. Friday night, we were sitting out on the porch and looking towards the levee, which is not very far away, and we were watching the helicopter circle for like 3 hours. And I was wondering, how long can a helicopter circle before it has to go get gas?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, here comes another helicopter from the airport, flies over, goes right over there, and then they're both circling around. And then another helicopter takes off and heads to the airport and left
that one,
the fresh one, and it circled, and we stayed out there another 2 hours. So 5 hours. Those helicopters are circling out there, and I didn't ask my brother when he left. He actually went that way to try to see what they were doing. Because they were circling out there for like 5 hours.
Wow. Now, I think there is something. You for all those who have watched me forever, know about the levee and what we think is going on north of Fresno around the levee, why we think they put up the levee in the first place, is I believe there's something going on in that levee. That's even, these cameras, toy SpyNet things, I think would definitely help us in that area too with the spotlights and everything. So we might need to go up there and when we get the FLIR too. Now, what Danny forgot to say is for all those who know that the FLIR is coming out with an actual case for the iPhone 5S. And it was supposed to be out this month in June, but it got pushed back because of some software issues, and it's going to come out in July. For all those who don't know what I'm talking about, if you have an iPhone 5S, you're going to get excited right now, especially for your Bigfooters. For about $400, they are going to come out FLIR, F-L-I-R. They're going to be coming out with a case that fits over the phone, and with that gives you the capability of registering heat signals from a long distance, actually. And I think I've seen videos of it, and it goes of a far distance, I think. I mean, we're talking maybe 100 feet or so. So FLIRs
that'll
are expensive.
Work for us because
especially for the growl.
So far, the Bigfoot's never been farther than 100 feet.
Not even that, right.
The only problem is it's so dark. We don't turn lights on, right. So, I can't see 10 feet.
Now, even with the spotlight out the window, these things are black and brown. Yeah. They blend in with the brush and the trees and the ground, even if you shine the spotlight right on them. Because you remember when Kathy Strain was saying that, her husband went over and looked in the bushes and saw 2 tree logs laying on the floor, and went back later and they were gone. Well, they were the 2 Bigfoots that were actually laying down, mimicking tree logs, right? And that's what these things do. They are ninjas. Thank you.
Forest ninja.
And so they know how to blend in. So, if we would have had this FLIR, and Alan goes, I just heard the growl 2 feet by me, I would have freaking stopped the vehicle, put up the windows, probably climbed over the back seat, put one hand out the window, turned everything off, and just scanned right below the truck. And with the FLIR, if there was a Bigfoot hiding in the brush, we would have been able to see the heat of the animal that was there. And I would have probably found it. Said, holy crap, there it is. 10 feet right there down that ravine, just sitting there. That's where I would have broke out the frickin'...
Well, will there be a way that, maybe we could take a little monitor?
I don't think it's only off the monitor here.
So the passenger could sit and hold that as we're cruising.
Well, yeah, you'll be able to see it right here.
So we might see it before we even get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're driving by and all of a sudden stop.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, Danny is going to upgrade, and I think he's going to get one too, which means that we'll have one on both sides of the vehicle.
Oh man.
Okay, and really, we don't need any lights.
No.
We can go dark. And each of them will hold out the iPhone out the window like this, and we'll just drive down. All of a sudden, stop! There's a fox, or there's a skunk. Go. Stop! There's a cow. Go. Holy crap! There it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we're going to be able to with the FLIRs. We're getting close. Mm-hmm. They're there. They're really close. I think we're going to be able to bag one and bring one home pretty soon. I think so.
I've been getting a lot of questions from everyone. They're like, they want me to go other places.
Why?
I mean, they go here and go there, and we heard about one over here. Mm-hmm. What they don't realize is the expanse of the Sierras. Even they say in this area, like the white one, for instance, mm-hmm. It's all the way from Trimmer all the way to, say, Burro Valley. So it has this 50 square mile range. Where do you go?
Start.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't.
Yeah, I mean, it would take a while to develop and figure out and tracking and everything. What we have is a place that we already figured out that when we go there, they come right to us. So why do we want to go all over the place, and spend gas and money and everything that we don't have really, when we could go right there and they come and mess with us? Right.
Seriously,
there.
Guys, they do.
Yeah.
They come
throw
right
things
to us.
at us. They growl at us. They scream at us.
If we would have had the proper equipment 3 years ago, like the Fleur, I think we would have already have brought one home.
Okay, next time you guys go, take me, please.
Okay. All right. No problem. And I think that it's going to be very soon. The only thing that's going to stop us is the man. If for some reason, because I know they're listening right now and they're going, oh shit.
Well, don't you think like when you get the Fleur, they're going to be able to see what's on your monitor?
The Bigfoots won't.
No,
the government.
Yeah.
You mean on our phone here?
Because I mean, they're already able to tap into our phones.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's that's
so
not
you
good.
That's be quick.
Well, I see what you're saying, because we already have plans, and I'm not going to even talk about it right now.
We shouldn't even talk about it.
No, we can't talk about the plans. So I'm just going to stop right there. Can they eavesdrop on the Fleur and see
what you're seeing?
What we're seeing?
Probably.
Man, we could put Emerald in the cage, Danny says, right?
Huh?
Yeah, because the Bigfoots like women.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, that's what draws them a lot of times. Like when we went on Memorial Day, there was 2 women, and one was screaming, and man, the Bigfoots are
they came
all over the place.
right up. So
and now we're out there screaming. It takes 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, we were screaming, we were hollering, we would knock into nothing, absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
I guess I'm gonna be screaming.
Well, you'll be,
maybe,
I'm like I said, I'm gonna make that cage for the back of my truck, like you see in Africa. All right, I mean that's very
like
easily.
A shark cage.
But what it's gonna be though, it's we're not gonna drive up with the cage already built. No, it's gonna be laid in the back of the truck, and when we get it up there, I'm gonna put it together. And I can do that. Trust me, I can do that.
You need a roof.
Yeah,
because they're monkeys, man. They'll come up there and just grab one side of it and throw their jump
not
right
even
over,
that. If they're that strong, they'll be able to just pull from the top bar.
Yeah. Well, I'll think of something. Trust me, I can build something really good.
I mean, the one I saw could probably I was telling Robert last night. The one I saw, the very first one I saw, looked big enough that if it wanted to, it could walk right over to the truck, grab the bumper, and throw the truck over. It was that big. And we were saying, if you saw that, would you wander around out there all by yourself anymore?
And that's what Robert said, because we were telling Robert last night, Robert, how can you go up there knowing that finally they might be up there, and it won't hit you until you literally see it with your own eyes, and then that will pretty much change your life forever.
I think that's what I'm waiting for.
And that's what I'm waiting for, too.
I still want to go out there. You guys haven't scared me that much.
Well, that's what it's going to do for me. And, Alan didn't go back to the mountains for 6 years after what he saw. And to this day...
And I won't go alone now.
Yeah, and to this day, he's still scared. I mean, I wish I would... It was pure darkness last night in the truck. I wish after that growl I would have seen his eyes, because I bet you he was shitting in his pants.
I was being pretty quiet.
he was quiet, dude. I
was waiting for a big hand to come
I go, should I back up? That's all I heard. I didn't hear anything.
You were going to hear me say, yeah. I'm the first guy that's going to go. That's Danny's dream.
Oh God.
All you got to do is outrun Alan.
He keeps saying that. Well, just hit the cane, let him fall over. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, I think we're getting close, guys. I want to say that we are setting a lot of trends here on this show, and I'm flattered that a lot of people are, because even Alan could pretty much verify that nobody was talking about going out and killing a Bigfoot until we talked about it here and really stressed that was our plan. Then what happened, Alan?
Well, if you did talk about it, you got hushed really quick.
Right.
People would be all over you and man, you're the devil if you're going to go shoot one.
They are nice.
Not anymore.
Don't kill.
It isn't happening. And And how dare you go and talk about what, nobody goes out and tells all the secrets of what they use in the field. Nobody does that, that's our secret. We don't tell anybody what we research with, know.
Right.
Now you got people putting videos out. I wear gloves, and I 100% deed, and I mean, there was one guy who was cracking me up, I mean, I have a knife, and you can't have too many more. How many knives do you need? Oh, they're, he goes, can't have enough knives, and I'm thinking, for what,
dude? Yeah. So yes, that. Because of the Bigfoot thing, and then also when we were talking about and showing the gizmos and gadgets that we use on this show, then all of a sudden people started making videos and doing the same thing.
Yeah, I've watched 5 since our last Gizmo show.
That is funny.
I just saw one today, some guy named River, and he's a teenager, and he comes out, man, and he's like, do your research and read these 2 books, and I was thinking, I don't know. I read a few books, but mostly I've been going in the field probably longer than he is old.
Right.
What they call it. I have more time around the steering wheel than he has around the whole darn car. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't understand. We've been doing this for a long time. We haven't been behind the microphone. I've been doing it for 4 years, 5 years now. So, all right.
Pretty fun.
We're having a blast. I think we're getting close to finding out one phenomena, and that is the creature known as Sasquatch. We have plans in the making for when it does finally happen. We're going to do it the correct way, not like Rick Dyer, but it's yeah.
His was all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
He didn't really even have one, and if he. I mean, he says he did, and the government took it. He said that twice now.
Yeah, it's BS.
But I actually, like, with my family, there's a certain area that we go. It's called and I actually would say everybody that ever comes and visits California or they live in California, it's 100-mile drive. Takes about 5 hours. It's called the Sierra Scenic Byway. And you start in North Fork. You take Road 200 off of Highway 41, and you go through some of the most beautiful country in the world. And it makes a big loop all the way into the wilderness, big high meadows, creeks with fish in them. And, I mean, you could go fishing. And you could do it all in 5 hours. There's big trees like Nelder, big giant redwoods. I mean, it's beautiful. I grew up there, all in that area. That's where I saw Bigfoot the first time. That's where my family seen the Bigfoots. That's where I grew up. But only it's beautiful. I say, so my family, we still go camping over there, and I always turn it into a Bigfoot trip. You know what I mean? They're all camping. I'm Bigfooting. But
right.
But only we go Bigfooting at the one place. Serious Bigfooting. But I'm still looking for Bigfoot when I'm camping in these other areas. But I suggest everybody. I mean, if you're coming through California from another state, find the Sierra Scenic Byway and go check it out. It is beautiful, better than Yosemite, I think.
Cool. Ask Keith if he felt the earthquake last night in Arizona. Did you, Keith? Arizona had a 5.2 last night at about 10 o'clock.
They don't have earthquakes.
They don't have earthquakes over there.
Yeah.
That is very odd. It's right near the border of New Mexico and Arizona, so I don't know exactly where he's at. But Arizona had a 5.2 last night, guys.
Is that like Flagstaff or something?
That doesn't happen in Arizona. So we're Art Bow's people is Guy is in Arizona, so we're going to ask him really quick to see if he felt it. So, let's see what else is going on I have here.
We've been having a few down here too, like where we're at. It was
Kettleman City's been rocking.
Yeah, Kettleman. And they had that really big one in Northern California, and then the Kettleman started acting up like the next day,
right?
Having like 10 of them.
So, NBC, there's if you look on all the channels, all the networks right now, there's so many paranormal shows going on, and I think they're trying still to develop new shows because people cannot get enough of it. There's an NBC is developing a new series about an actual cop that hunts down supernatural criminals. So I can't wait for that one. That one should be a good one if once they start, that's still in development.
The Marvel Avengers, and
so
he thinks they're all bad guys.
So that's going to be cool if once that comes out. You guys know that there is a, let's see, who is it? James Franco and Seth Rogen. They actually produced a movie that's coming out in theaters here pretty quick, and it's about the assassination of North Korean dictator, what's his name, Kim Jong-un? Well, yeah, supposedly in that movie, it's about assassinating him. Well, he came out and said that, hey, if you guys show that movie, it's an act of war. And he will attack America, basically.
What's that guy? Korea?
North Korea.
Okay. He's a weirdo.
So that is, that's been hitting the social media here in the past, actually, 3-4 days.
Don't bomb us because they called you a weirdo.
All right.
Okay.
So he says that, what's kind of weird, though, is that, do you remember when Benghazi happened? And that one guy who supposedly showed a video and made all the Muslims ticked off, and it was because of that, and they arrested him in the whole 9 yards, which it wasn't. That wasn't the cause of a video. Well, here is an actual video that once it gets played, and it's saying that North Korea will attack. Well, then, if they arrested this guy who did, who put together this video that so-called caused Benghazi, then Obama administration needs to arrest James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Oh, that won't happen.
Well, but I'm saying though, right? I mean, how can you be
cause a bombing?
If you're going to be, you can't be hypocritical. It's if you're saying a video caused the embassy attack, which killed our ambassador and 3 men, which 4 total because of a video, and now we have a dictator of North Korea saying that if we show this video in the theaters, it's an act of war. Then Obama better go and arrest Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Or just prevent them from playing it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what the Obama administration is going to do.
Can't it just be a loophole and it just goes straight to Blu-ray?
Well, either way, you know what? If it gets put out, they will know. North Korea will know. All right. You guys, if you guys look right behind me, there is a poster of the X-Files I Want to Believe poster. This one is, I don't want to say the actual one, but this is one of the originals, and when I mean originals, it says trademark 20th Century Fox at the bottom right-hand corner. So this is like when they ran so many of these, this was one of the original ones that they ran. And I know you can't tell, but I have a lot of autographs and stuff on there. I am a big X-Files freak, all right? I think X-Files was like the show that put me over the top when I wanted to really, really get into the paranormal. Well, it just so happens that David Duchovny was interviewed on Rolling Stone just recently, and he says that he wants to do another X-Files movie, which is very cool. I can't wait. Because I remember when the X-Files went off the air, him and Chris Carter had a falling out. And I think it was because of money and all this kind of stuff. I think they basically became friends again. And I'm hoping that, matter of fact, Comic-Con last year, they actually had they had Scully up there, they had David up there, and they had Chris Carter up there, they had all the producers up there, and they want to do another movie. So I'm thinking that this is going to happen, and I'm not saying right away. Obviously, they got to write the movie, and then they got to, lay it out, and then do it. So we're talking probably another 2 or 3 years by the time this thing is done. But if David I think David was pretty much the only person holding it back. And David is finally coming out and say, I hope they do another movie. Well, Californication, he's been on a series on HBO, I think that's for the longest time, and I think it's coming to an end. So I think he's just looking for more work. But, if he says he wants to do another theater movie, then I'm thinking it's finally going to get done, because I think he was the one that they were waiting for to come around. And now since he's going to do it, and I can't wait, because like I said, I am a big X-Files fan. You guys can't see this room. Well, I used to have a lot of stuff all over the place until I took it down. I put them away in boxes and tote boxes, but I'm a big X-Files fan. I like to say I have everything. I have a pinball machine right there by Emerald, and I have a lot of stuff put away. So the lunch pail back here. I have everything. So I'm a big X-Files fan, and I can't wait for it to come out, and I'm hoping that it will come out here pretty soon. So, I'm going to show you guys real quick. Illuminati. There are a lot of signs on TV and in music videos of people who are really into the Illuminati, and you can tell by the logos and all of the what they wear, the props that they use for videos, triangles, the all-seeing eye. One who uses it a lot, my girlfriend, Katy Perry. She uses the Illuminati Sigma all over the place. And this just came over the wire this morning, and I'm going to show you guys it.
Do you know that my wife, she showed me that picture this morning, and she's like, what does that mean? She had no idea. Married to me, and she doesn't even know what that means. I mean, that kind of shocked me, because...
What are we looking at?
You're looking at Julia Roberts, and she has a
reptile shirt.
She has a shirt, a dress shirt on, opened up with another dress underneath, but on it is the triangle with the all-seeing eye inside, and on the top there's a snake reptile type of, which pretty much both of them are, the Illuminati stigmas, and they use that all the time. And here, Julia Roberts, who happens to be one of the biggest movie stars in the world. So, you wonder how they get to these type of positions, like her and Tom Cruise and Katy Perry. Katy Perry, 71 million downloads on iTunes. 71 million downloads on iTunes. That's $1. $71 million just on iTunes alone. They just gave her a big award. So
that's all she gets. She doesn't get any money.
Yeah,
just the award.
Yeah. So
the Illuminati gets all the money.
Yeah. You wonder how these people become so famous so quick, and it's because they're involved somehow, some way, with the Illuminati. They want to become famous so bad that they will do anything to do that. Whatever they need to sign, to give their soul away, to do whatever, to become a multi-gazillionaire. And they do. And it's kind of weird that Julia Roberts would actually wear something like this. It's like, it's pretty much telling me, hey, look. So, So
it blew my wife away, 'cause she likes her.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I mean, she's a good... I've seen this.
Sure.
I've seen, let's see, the two, I think, really, the two shows or movies that she's been in that I really enjoy. One is Notting Hill, and the other one is, obviously, the big one that made her famous is The Hooker.
I know which one you're talking about. Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. That was the first one, and then this one. I think there's one more. I can't quite put the name on it, but there you go. So, all right. Let me go to here. Let me go to there.
Yeah, she does this. She has this makeup line that.
Oh yeah, Julie Roberts.
Sell it on. They sell it like on infomercials. And my wife, man, she likes jewelry and makeup. I mean, like crazy. If you want to make her happy, it's like jewelry or makeup. And she bought some of that, and it goes on your bank card.
Mm-hmm.
I almost couldn't get it off of it. Because, I mean, every month we get a package on time, but so did the money come out of the bank on time, right? And I almost couldn't stop that. It was like put on automatic pilot, and forever I was going to have that, you know. And I stopped it, and I told her, don't ever buy the makeup like that again. You know, I might be super duper or whatever, but only, you know what? Forget it. You know, we don't need it every month. You know.
So, all right, we got 20 minutes. 20 minutes to go. Next weekend is 4th of July. We'll have a show Sunday because 4th of July is on a Friday, so we'll go ahead and do another show on Friday. I'm getting a couple of guests lined up. I have contacted. What happened is Bigfoot Wars with Thomas C. Howell. They pushed the movie back, and now it's getting closer to that release date. I'm still trying to get him to come on the air to do an interview with us on the air so we can talk Bigfoot, because I know he's a big Bigfoot freak.
And we want him to go
Bigfooting with us. Yes, and I think that will happen if he's not working, and hopefully before winter we'll get him out here with Brian James, the producer of Bigfoot Wars as well. And he owns us a costume, so I'm hoping that that soon we'll be able to see that, because we're still working on the Hollywood deal thing. We have something in the making right now with the executive producer. We're waiting for her deal to go through, and once that deal goes through, then I think we'll be pretty much set.
Yep.
And I think we'll be doing what you guys all think that we will be doing. So. Where hopefully within the next couple of weeks we will hear something from the executive producer, and hopefully she had signed that deal. It's a big deal. Trust me. It's a big freaking deal.
Yeah, just the number alone makes me pass out.
Well, what's going to happen is the executive producer who we're talking about, she is right now what she's doing is she is putting together a massive deal in Hollywood that's worth $400 million.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And yeah.
No.
Yeah, not to us. It is not to us, but she is putting together a $400 million deal right now.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've already had meetings.
When she said that number,
we had meetings with her already.
Like,
but what's going to happen is she's getting a cut of that, because I think she's going to be the chief executive officer in that deal, and she is going to finance our project. So, which means...
Is that going towards the show plus the investigation team, or is that
the whole thing. I mean, in order to do the show correctly...
You have to have the team.
You have to have the team and send the team out to bring back good video so we can show on the show. So all that is,
So you're going to send us out finally?
Well, yeah. You know, it depends on the type of investigation to go... if we get a killer Bigfoot photo or Bigfoot video... we need you guys to go out there and see if it's legit or not. So we're going to send you guys out there. If there's a killer UFO, video or photograph that somebody took, well then, we're going to send you out to go make sure this thing is the real deal. So, I mean, the whole idea...
Even like some of the most haunted places in the world.
I'd be perfectly fine with that.
The whole idea is to show everybody what happened last week, what happened 2 weeks ago. That's the whole process.
They're talking about something in chat that's interesting. There's a new show with Halle Berry.
Oh, yeah.
And she comes back pregnant
mm-hmm.
from space.
Oh, yes.
And she's all by herself, right? But she comes back pregnant. Like, what is it, the alien thing? Like, how did that lady get pregnant in Alien? Remember? I mean, she had an alien, like, bust out of her, Wasn't it? Like, what was her name? Isn't that how it came out?
But not from her, though.
Oh, it wasn't from her? Oh, no, it wasn't, huh? Because she
fought him off.
Yeah.
Well, how they get pregnant is they would, down their throats, put the eggs down that way. But yeah, I mean,
I don't have TV anymore, so you guys know this more than me.
I haven't seen this new show with Halle Berry in it, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with that show at all. I know of it, but I haven't seen it yet, so I couldn't tell
Sigourney Weaver, she was the one.
Yeah, but no, she survived at the very end because she's the one.
See, and then that's what Jeff was watching when I came in. Prometheus.
Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus.
Yep.
I came in and Jeff was watching Prometheus. Yes.
Yes, on HBO.
With I don't know, Sigourney Weaver.
Nope. No. Actually, this one doesn't. This is Charlize Theron. Charlene Theron.
Charlie.
Yeah. She's the only big actor on this one. But
it was like the head was, I can fly this ship, But he was only a head. It was like
the robot.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the robot.
Fly this ship, dude. I want to see you do it. No.
Okay.
I never seen the movie. Okay.
Right. No, actually, now they're thinking about, from what I heard on social media, is doing a Prometheus 2. So people are really excited about that. Okay. Well, all right.
Now, who's Prometheus? The robot?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, that I couldn't tell you. It's just the name of the movie. Now, if there is, I don't know. You got me. It means something. I don't know what it means, but so. All right. Let me look.
Yeah, I'll be checking on that one. I'll try to keep updated on that Halle Berry one. 'Cause that's interesting to me. There was something last night that was really interesting. We were looking up in the sky. I mean, it's total pitch dark, no moon.
Right.
And I know, like there's satellites that come over. We were watching them like 4 in a row, like they were following each other. And at some point you could see 3 of them at the same time following each other. And then we started seeing them all over the place, crisscrossing all over. Like, how many satellites are there?
A lot.
And some of them they're so high that you could barely see them. And if you look straight at them, you can't see them. So you have to look off to the side just to be able to see it. And they were everywhere, man. I mean, it would be dangerous to shoot up. Like if we had the capability to get in something and fly out there, you have to watch yourself because you're going to have a head-on collision with one of them things up there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a lot of things up in the sky.
A lot. It was amazing to me.
And it's the reason is that we were away from the city lights, way up in the mountains, 5,000 feet elevation, and everything was so clear that you can see these things flying. Just
me and Danny saw this one thing. It was like
I missed that.
I mean, it just went like if you blinked, you would have not saw it, and it was 2 lights, and it looked like a foggy kind of look in between it. It wasn't like a shooting star where it had a trail or anything. It looked like it was just coming in, and it was really low. It just like zipped between these 2 trees. And Danny was like, "What was that?" And I don't know what it was either. And I've heard stories though of people that they describe something like that, and then later, like 20 minutes later, they see a light coming through the trees and they get abducted. So I was really watching in the trees from the direction of where I saw that go, and I mean, Bigfoots and UFOs, sometimes they go together,
last 2 weeks ago we were talking about those kids that are coming over the border, literally by the thousands. I found out on January the 25th or 29th, right around there, the Obama administration put out a call to contractors and asking them to come up with an idea on how to, when the Obama administration knew this was about to happen, so they put the word out in January for contractors to come up with a way of intercepting all these children that were about to be coming over the border. Like, how did the administration know this was about to start to happen? That's
a good question.
Okay, that's what's telling me is that they were involved in putting all this together. But to this day, I still don't understand what's the purpose of all these children coming over. I came up with a couple of theories last week. Is it maybe voting? Is it maybe virus of getting a virus in input it into their system, and then I don't know. FEMA camps, obviously, from what I understand right now, they're putting all these kids in FEMA camps. And
I saw a thing that a helicopter from Mexico came over and attacked the Border Patrol guy.
Yeah, actually the Mexican helicopter went on the United States side and shot at our Border Patrol agents.
Isn't that an act of war?
That is like a oops.
That's like an act of war, though. We could go blow them up, right? If we wanted.
I mean,
that's the thing. If our administration wanted, that they're not.
No, they don't want it.
No.
No, they. But only all the guns that the cartels have, we sold them.
Those are our guns. Yeah.
In fact, there's a guy on Facebook. I want to get him on the show. He used to do shows like on MSNBC and stuff like that, but he's a retired CIA guy, and he knows all about this Benghazi and gun running and all that stuff. And I like to get him on and talk to him, and let him tell his story, because I think it's an interesting story, and it is so timely right now, because they're trying to wash this stuff under the rug. They don't want everybody to talk about Benghazi. They don't want anybody to talk about anything about like the Stinger missiles that came up missing and all that. Man, I have a feeling some of those are here and they're going to use them. And we were talking about that on yesterday.
Right.
The super cell or whatever they call them, Muslim cells.
The
sleeper cells.
Sleeper cells. Yes. So things have been quiet.
Yeah.
The United States, there's a disaster, and again, I'm not saying that we should have one, but it's been very, very quiet lately, and so don't be surprised if something happens here pretty soon.
And I was even reading the Sandy Hook thing. They're coming out and saying it was fake.
Right.
Really?
Mhm.
No.
Yeah.
It's not fake.
No, they said it was fake.
Who said it was fake?
The government.
There is.
They said it was
you know
a
what?
drill.
I've been wanting to do a show on this. I've been doing a lot of research on the Sandy Hook, and the reason why I haven't been talking about it is because I want to make sure I get my facts straight. There are things that a lot of people don't know. Like, for example, when the shooting occurred, and you can look at all the other school shootings out there. When a school shooting occurs, it's an all call to all emergency personnel. Because when you're saying there are, literally many children down, then you're going to send ambulances, you're going to send helicopters, you're going to send all kinds of help.
Right. And all the cops are going to want backup.
Okay, Sandy Hook, did you know not one helicopter was dispatched out to retrieve any of the kids?
Weren't there victims though? Like,
That's what they said.
Didn't people die?
That's what they said.
Now, check this out. They said about, I don't know, whether 20 or 30 children died. All right? Did you know the coroner was not dispatched to the school to basically identify all the dead?
Right.
Nobody was let in.
There's even pictures of some of the dead kids with the president like a few weeks later.
There are... there was actually these, when you go down and when they're doing construction, and they have these signs and they're blinking, detour 20 yards, and they're all okay. Well, they had several of these signs around the school, basically blinking a statement of volunteers, please report to this location, type of deal. All right. Did you know at the same time that the Sandy Hook incident occurred, just down the street they were having a drill of a shooting at another school? Nobody saw any of the dead children. As a matter of fact, you would have thought that with all of the killing of these kids, there would have been blood splattered everywhere. All right? They didn't bring in any type of hazardous team to come in and to clean up all the mess. As a matter of fact, do you know what they did to that particular building with all the dead kids that happened to have been in there? They wiped it out. They came in with construction and cleaned it, just knocked it all down. And they put up a new building.
So what was it, for like an anti-gun agenda?
Exactly.
Oh, that's low.
That's exactly what it was. So to this day, the coroner was not dispatched to identify and to write down exactly how many kids died. No helicopter. If you go look at all the other school shootings, you see videos of 4 or 5 helicopters out in the field, right, taking kids and children to hospitals. Not a single helicopter was dispatched to the Sandy Hook. So how do they know every single child was dead? You would have thought that there would have been maybe possible. They're not going to, when there's a school shooting, you're going to dispatch 100 ambulances and fire engines, dispatch helicopters. Not a single helicopter was dispatched. You can go look at all the other school shootings to this day, and you can go back and look at the video, and you'll see out in the playground, you'll have 4 helicopters with propellers, getting ready to take all the kids. Even if you have a shoulder injury, they're going to put them on a helicopter, pick them out. Sandy Hook, not a single helicopter. The coroner was not dispatched. They didn't bring in a hazardous, wasteful team to come and clean up the classroom, because that's all hazardous material, all the blood everywhere that should have been. They didn't. But they came in and they totally tore down the building where supposedly this all happened, and they put up a new building. Okay? There are so many things that a lot of people don't realize. That there's this particular, he's a retired police officer who is investigating this Sandy Hook, and is pretty much saying this didn't happen. It did not happen. The whole reason why it went down is because of an anti-gun initiative.
Yeah, they wanted guns.
That's the only reason why this happened.
And you know what's really weird? When we were talking about the forests being closed, all that is in this agenda called Agenda 21. Take your guns, close the forest, make the FEMA camps, what he's talking about for the border people. All of it is all there. Go on the internet, type in Agenda 21 and look at the PDF file. It's from the UN. You can read it, the whole thing, and you'll know where they're at in the plan right now. So
there's hints and all these things that are going on, especially with the the children coming in from over the border. There's a reason why our government is allowing this to happen, and they're not putting a stop to it. I don't know. So, all right, we're going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody showing up tonight and watching us at ParanormalCentral.net or listening to us at the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. I appreciate it. We'll be back next weekend, next Sunday, and we'll have a bunch of good stuff to talk about and hopefully some good things to show you. And it doesn't get old here. We bring you the new stuff that's happening every week. So I appreciate it, and thank you very much for Jeffrey, myself, and Alan, and Emerald. Good night.
Good night.
Hi.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and on ArtBell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me.